Kris Krohn here, and there's a lot of things that people will call themselves when they're feeling financially down and out. Sometimes broke, sometimes poor, when in fact there's a big world of a difference between those two phrases, and today we're going to explore that. What is the difference between being broke and poor? I remember when I started my journey in life, I had wanted to be a doctor. And I was convinced that I was going to make enough money for my family and also to take care of my parents in their old age. I can't say that I had a perfect childhood, but I had a good childhood and a deep love for my mom and dad. And they always financially struggled, so I thought, this is my opportunity. So I'm going to get a job. I'm going to become a doctor. I wanted to have money because I thought money would solve my problems. And you know what? Money can solve a lot of problems. It can answer a lot of things. But ultimately, where does money first get created? Is it a career that creates it? To be a doctor, that's a 10-year journey. You know, I've got to spend a lot of investment of time and effort and energy to become something. And ultimately, I didn't go down that road because I didn't have a natural aptitude for chemistry. Chemistry and biology, they were just kind of the doom for me in that path. And I remember what it felt like coming home and telling my wife that I hadn't been married to for more than a few months, that I wasn't going to be a doctor anymore. And I thought it would be as devastating to her as it was to me. It wasn't though. It wasn't her dream, it was mine. And she told me that she believed in me and I would figure it out. But I started climbing deeper and deeper and deeper into debt. I even had a full-time job, but trying to pay for school full-time and pay for our new family and just cover the basic bills, I wasn't able to do it. And I remember we had a couple of credit cards and every month I was sliding further and further back. And I remember that the more debt that I had after working full-time and being a full-time student, I remember the weight and the burden of feeling behind. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to pay the bills. Frankly, it came to a head when I came home one day and I found my wife crying because she wanted to go grocery shopping. We only bought a week's worth of groceries at the time, and our cupboards were empty, but she was unable to purchase groceries. I remember how devastating it was for me. And I started developing a mindset of the masses, a mindset that said, I can't do it, I'm broken financially, and I'm also poor. I didn't understand the difference then. But fast forward 4.5 years later, and I was retired. I just graduated college, and I never needed to work a day again in my life if I didn't want to. And that's what helped me discover who I was and what my purpose is. I want to do a little shout out here, Minority Mindset. Strait Singh, he has this video on the difference between poor and broke, and here's what he argues. He says that being broke is a condition of having no money, but being poor is to be defeated. It's to give into a victimhood where you embody it as if your temporary financial situation is an expression of your identity. And I have to say that I agree completely with Strait, and he argues that you need to develop the minority mindset, meaning the masses are going to tell you that you are poor and that you're broke. And this minority mindset, the mindset of the wealthy, says that that broke is a temporary condition. It's just a condition of the moment, but it doesn't have to mean that you're broken. The man that I am today, different than I was before, strip everything away, take everything away from me. And I might be broke on paper, I might be broke in the bank, but I've developed today what I want to share with you, the abundance mindset. The abundance mindset is this idea that there's always enough of what it is you truly need. And no matter where you are in life, and if you're watching this video, you might want to know what the difference between broke and poor is, because likely you don't have money or you're struggling with the fact that you don't feel like you have enough. And which is it? Are you broke or are you poor? And I'm going to argue that they don't have to be the same thing the world thinks that they are. The reality is that right now you're just broke, which means you're in this temporary situation where you don't have money. If you carry it forward into the victimhood energy, this idea that you are also then poor, we can take that on as a personal identity. But the reality is, are you really poor? Do you have to be poor up here? The abundance mindset says that there's an abundance of everything that you truly need. So let's talk about need for just a moment. What do you really need? Let me ask you, last night, did you have a roof over your head? Do you have a meal in your body today? Is your body functioning on energy from food that was put there? Are you naked or are you clothed? Unless you just get out of the shower, you're probably clothed, right? I would argue that your needs are being met. I get it. The stress of the bills, our Western thinking, needing more things, keeping up with the Joneses, needing to have more. Are those really needs or are those wants? I think that the greatest way of stepping into manifesting great physical abundance is first to establish it in the mind. So instead of being poor, become mentally abundant. And here's how you do that. Every creation begins first in the mind before it can take physical root. There was a job that you want. It's a dream job. Before you can get the dream job, you have to know what the job is. You have to acquire the skills that someone would want to hire you for it. And if you back it up even further, it starts with an idea of what it is that you want. All ideas become things. So by the way, if you decide that you are poor, not just broke, but poor, then what you're going to call into creation are more bills, more lack, more not enough. The abundance mindset says, pause and step into the gratitude of the reality of this moment. Perhaps you're far more abundantly blessed than you've given credit for. And perhaps that gratitude is just the first step of this abundance mindset. Because right now in this moment, you're watching this video. It means that you're free. No one is telling me you can't do that. No one is telling you what you can or can't do. You're using your free time right now to pick up your phone, be on your tablet, your PC, and you are watching this video. Which means that you have the luxury of some time, even if just a few minutes right now. It means that you had the freedom of choice to choose to click on and watch this video. And it also means that you have a device. Go back in time 100 years and they would call you a wizard. Look at what you're possessing. You can access knowledge from all over the world and connect with billions of people through this magic thing that is showing you this magic talking head on your screen. Friends, we are so ridiculously abundant, and abundance begets abundance. Which means this, if you're broke, fine, that's temporary. Don't attach to it with the victimhood mindset of now I'm poor. Instead, go to the abundance mindset that says, wait a second, step into gratitude for everything that I currently have, and then do this second secret, final secret that I want to share as a bonus in this video. Focus on what you want as if you have it. Focus on what you want as if you have it. Or a different way, focus on what you want as if you have it. If you focus on bills, then you'll likely bring your energy down, you'll feel frustration, anxiety, depression, and then you'll think more about bills, and it's a cycle. But in that moment, if you chose instead to imagine all the good things coming your way, how the money's flowing to you, how you're an expert at managing your money, and all this positivity, then at least even in that moment before it physically could manifest, you were actually experiencing the positive, good juju vibes of it. Where? Here. In here, when? In this moment. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm telling you that you did not actually possess the physical abundance, but that you were living with the abundance here in the mind and heart as if it had presented itself. And the subconscious mind knows no different. Allow your subconscious mind to become very acquainted with what it is to experience the abundance here so that you can experience the abundance here in this physical world. And friends, that is not only the difference between broke and poor, but that is how you escape poorness and how you break the cycle of broke by learning to be abundant here. Do it long enough and you'll get to experience it here. Never feel bad about being broke because it's just a temporary condition. And now you know what you can do up here to go ahead and change your stars. And start right now. Start using some of the information that I've given you here today that will help you know exactly what you can do to make that happen. Listen, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ring the bell, and we'll keep notifying you of our next videos.